But first, our headline story for today. In a move to solidify a policy announced a year ago, Pope Francis has declared that all priests can forgive abortions. The famously progressive Pope has said that while the Catholic Church still views abortion as a sin, he extends the ability to forgive doctors, nurses, and women having the procedure to the priests of the Church. In the past, the ability to forgive sins like abortion were limited only to bishops who are higher up in the Church than priests, and those higher than the bishops. Now, any woman, doctor, or nurse involved in an abortion procedure and seeking forgiveness in the eyes of the Catholic Church can go to confession and be forgiven by a priest. This changes the tone of many Catholic churches across the world, as some women have been rejected by the Church after confessing an abortion in the past. The move by Pope Francis continues on the path to a vision of a more open, forgiving, and loving Catholic Church. Pope Francis has stressed how important it is that now, more than ever, the Church welcome all people. Sean, do you think this could change the discourse surrounding Roe v. Wade in the U.S. happening right now?
I don't know if it's necessarily going to change what actually happens with the legality of Roe v. Wade, but what I do think it's going to change are the conversations that happen specifically at get-togethers like Thanksgiving around such a topic that really can divide people.
You're right. All right, and there's a lot happening in the world outside of the U.S., so for that, we go to news correspondent Moses Small.
Thanks, John and Claire. Let's take a look at the developing stories this morning. At least one person has been arrested after police clashed with protesters in North Dakota on Sunday. Demonstrators tried to push past a blocked bridge and were met with police using water cannons and tear gas. According to police reports, there were as many as 200 involved and temperatures as low as 20 degrees. Protests against the Dakota Access Pipeline started when the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe argued that it could contaminate their drinking water. Construction of the pipeline is continuing and more protests are sure to follow. Energy Transfer Partners, however, have denied that the pipeline poses a threat to Sioux land or water. Trump University was one of Donald Trump's biggest obstacles in the presidential campaign. On Friday, the president-elect agreed to pay $25 million to settle lawsuits. Former Trump University workers reported unqualified professors and deceptive claims to students who paid up to $35,000 per year in tuition. After the case, former students will receive compensation. Trump previously declined to settle lawsuits, and his lawyers have denied fraud or liability. They claim to have ended the lawsuit solely to allow Trump to give more attention to issues as president. Dallas, Texas might be the next U.S. city to head towards bankruptcy. Pension funds are running low for the city's police and firefighters. Dallas has few options to pay off the retirement money promised to these workers as early as 1993. An American consulting firm says that Dallas would need $7 billion to pay everything in full. The city is set to vote in December on whether or not to overhaul its pension program and is looking to state lawmakers for a solution. After question 4 passed in Massachusetts, police are questioning how to test marijuana-impaired drivers. After the vote, a professor at the University of Massachusetts made an app to test just that. The app is called Druid. It works by giving drivers tasks like following a moving shape on a screen or balancing on one leg. It's expected to come out in a few months and may be released before marijuana's legalization date of December 15th. This is just one of many tests for marijuana, and the app's creator wants it to be an alternative to police relying on observation alone. That's all I have for you today. Sean and Claire, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Moses. Now, they don't have an app like this for something like testing if you're able to drive, if your blood alcohol content is safe enough to drive. Do you think this could be developed in the future along with these marijuana tests?
I think it's a bit tricky. I mean, alcohol is a little bit different than marijuana. Blood tests aren't primarily used because different blood contents can mean different things because everyone processes THC a bit differently. So it's unsure what we'll see in the future in terms of marijuana testing, I think.
Thanks so much, Moses.
All right, now for today's weather forecast. It's going to be cold in Boston this week, but fortunately no snow for the rest of the week. Today will be windy with speeds reaching up to 21 miles per hour with a high of 42 and a low of 31. Wednesday, the sun will be out with a high of 43 and a low of 32. As for Thanksgiving Day, there will be showers in the morning, but it won't be cold enough for any snow to reach the city. It will be a high of 42 and a low of 38. So make sure to leave plenty of time if you're traveling for Thanksgiving because the weather is not looking perfect. Claire, we got a little bit of snow in the city a few days ago. Are you ready for the snow to start?
I'm not ready for a huge snowstorm, but the dusting we got the other night was perfect for me for this time of year, I think.
All right, well, we have to take a quick commercial break. But when we return, I'll be sitting down with authors Julio Villegas and Betty Capote.
And we'll be sitting down at the round table to talk about our favorite Thanksgiving memories and what we're looking forward to this holiday break.